here for another live. We haven't done a live in a long, long time. Figured I would go ahead and do a live. A good opportunity to, maybe get some extra watch time here. I know there was no announcement. It's a Saturday, but I figured I would go live, and haven't done it in a while, so kind of exciting here. But so yeah, today, as people, you will see in the video, of course, the main thing, understanding here, is that Xi Jinping is calling for more open source AI. For people that don't know, AI is the huge discussion in the world right now. AI is, one of the things that really changed the world at one time, of course, was getting the internet. Back in the day, getting the internet, that really changed the world. It changed the way people's lives went and worked, and it created a huge vacuum of money, and really brought a lot of wealth to countries like America. Well, AI is AI is the same thing. This is the next wave of wealth, because as much as all these really cool robots are, and these Teslas and all these vehicles and stuff, they all run on software. And this AI is going to be the new software pretty much for everything. And so kind of what's going on is Xi Jinping is calling for more open source AI. He says that China is, China's ready. That China is ready to be more open, which to me is a joke. Xi Jinping is lying out of his ass when he says that China wants to be more open. China doesn't want to be more open to anything. China has a problem. And the problem is that, again, AI is the next big thing in the world. AI is going to change everything, and it's already changing everything, and we see it happening in front of our eyes. But the problem is that China is behind in AI. And they're not just a little behind, they're a lot behind. And see, the thing that they've been doing to kind of keep in the race really recently is you've got some Chinese companies like DeepSeek, you've got Kimi now, which just had a thing come out, a day or two ago, talking about how their benchmarking is really high in the AI compared to, some of our American companies, Claude, their system, and ChatGPT and these types of things. The problem is that DeepSeek and Kimi, the way that they're keeping up is by stealing information. They're not innovating, they're not creating, they're not coming out with the new stuff like they've been telling you. They steal from you, and they lie, and it's been working. But the problem is that it's crashing. You see, demand has happened so much for AI. You have companies like DeepSeek and Kimi just recently, especially Kimi here. They stole basically so much information, and they benchmark their system, and they say that it works, but it doesn't. They don't have enough bandwidth on the servers to even keep up. If you go there now and you try to do something with it, doesn't allow you to. It's the servers are overloaded. They've been overloaded for hours and hours and hours. But they've been exposed for this, right? Multiple times. OpenAI recently went to the Congress back in February here in America, and they had told everybody that, China was using these third-party routers to sneak into their systems, that they were stealing ChatGPT's outputs, and again, stealing information, that's not competition. When Xi Jinping says he wants open source AI, again, that's not because he wants to compete, it's because he wants to steal information. They want to steal the information that they don't have. Anthropic actually caught DeepSeek and Kimi doing the exact same thing. They found some 24,000 fake accounts, 16 plus million Claude conversations were harvested. They found that basically China, as always, as it has always done, when it cannot innovate, it will just steal technology and copy. And here's the thing, it's all the propaganda. It's still the same old story, the same old propaganda that we've come to see from China again and again and again and again. When Kimi K3 launched, just recently, they said that it beats Claude Fable 5. And for people that don't know, Fable 5 is, Anthropic's, their new AI, right? It's the new thing that came out. And to put things into perspective, it's really strong. It's been allowing people to build websites with just basic commands and games and things like that. It's pretty much what people have been wanting from AI and have just now started to really get. Okay? And, these Chinese companies have claimed that, well, they're better, that they're faster. And what happens is they lie. It's like everything else. They lie. They do benchmarks, and they'll find some really obscure benchmark that doesn't really mean anything, and then they'll say, well, it does better. Okay? But they don't do any independent testing. When you look at independent testing, you find that a lot of the AI from China, it's very average at best. Okay? It's not only did they steal technology to get where they've gotten, but it's very average. Not only that, the thing that I thought was really funny was when you look at the independent testing, it's like it's really, again, not even fourth or fifth. They make stuff up. One of the problems that they found with their new AI was that it just makes stuff up. It had what's called a really high hallucination rate, where it just makes stuff up, and it was 51%, which means that their new AI, when you're searching for facts on the internet, it's wrong more often than it is right. Okay? That's you know what I mean? That's not what you expect of AI. But again, the main thing that, like I said, was the broken servers. Again, yesterday the servers were down. Nobody could use them. It was over 5 hours. It was like six hours, basically, that they opened it and then nobody could use it. And that doesn't, the model doesn't function. So no matter how, even if it was better, it still wouldn't matter because you can't use it. So you're stealing, you're lying about performance, and when anyone tries to use it, it collapses. Again, it's not innovation. That's a house of cards, And the other thing is, it's just this. Imagine this thing here. Like you're a developer in Germany, and you build something in your garage, right? And some guy breaks in, he steals your code, and he runs it, and then stands in town square demanding you release all your source code for everyone to benefit. Like, then he locks his own doors, right? He won't let you in, but he wants your stuff still, right? That's what China's doing here. That's exactly what China's doing. Let's. You can't say that China hasn't made any strides, right? That would not be true. But the simple fact is that they're stealing from our largest companies in America, and then they're claiming that they want open source. They did this with the automobile industry. They forced all of these automobile manufacturers to come to China to show them how to build everything, and then they stole the technology. They did it with all the trains, that their main propaganda that they talk about. Same thing. They just stole all that technology, and now all of a sudden it's good for them, right? And that's just the way it is. They continue to claim that it's their technology. They've got the fastest trains in the world, but strangely enough, they look like somebody else's trains. Okay, same thing when you log into like Chinese AI, like DeepSeek. Weirdly enough, just strangely enough, it looks exactly like everyone else's AI. Why is that? Why doesn't it look so different? It makes you wonder, right? Is it really that random, or is there a reason for that? Common sense tells you, that there's a reason for that, right? That's the problem in China is right now is they're scared because they're behind with AI. And AI is the next big thing, and they are behind. And they want access, again, to your code so that they can steal it instead of innovating. And that's exactly what they're doing. But the funny part about it is that, as an example, again, their newest AI actually uses Nano Banana, which is Google's image generation service. So think about that for a second. They don't have their own image creating ability for this AI. and they use Google. Use Google's. Why would they use Google's? Because they don't have it, right? They don't have that technology. But they're going to use Google, even though Google is banned in China. They banned Facebook, they banned Google, and all these platforms are banned, right? But yet they want to put them in their AI. You can't touch their market, but they want unfettered access to yours. Think about how crazy that is. That's not openness. Again, that's theft. That's propaganda. It's more of the same from China. And the fact that we continue to allow this bullshit to happen is just insane to me. It's insane. And if any of these countries that are working hard to build AI, if they allow this shit to happen, then it's we've got to stop. We have to stop allowing China to do this, to steal from us, and steal from us right in front of our faces, and then not allow us into their house at all. You know what I mean? It's got to stop. It has to end because they're stealing us blind. And the next big thing is AI. It's here. It's happening. It's now. And that's their next target. I guarantee you, you're going to see more propaganda from China about AI than you will anything else. And it's coming. But that's all I wanted to talk about, for this. Like I said, I'm just going to do a short live today because I didn't want to film and edit. So I just wanted to talk about that, put out a quick live. And yeah, man, it's just, again, more of the same from our Chinese buddies, Xi Jinping and his, cronies over there, his crony government. Again, just wanting to steal more information and then lie to your face about what they really are and what they're really doing. They don't want to be open. They just want your stuff for free, and then to give nothing back in return, because that's what it is. If anything, they should be told to F off. No free stuff for you, no open source, because as of right now, there's no need for open source. There's enough competition in America for these AIs, to do great things. You don't need open source right now for that type of thing. And China's going to have to learn to be innovative. If you want to be a world leader, you got to pull up your big boy pants, and you've got to innovate. You can't just steal every time that you want to. So, but that is today's live. I know, very short. Like I said, it's the weekend here. People are out. Hopefully, you're out having fun. I'm gonna take my fat whale ass to the beach pretty soon. I know that's what I'm doing. So I will be going. I want to say I love you all. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. The reason I came back to YouTube is because people kept asking me to. So I do appreciate your guys' time. I want to thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.